We are not. We don't have a building department at all. The only thing we're doing is the planning commission, everything is goes over the county for building permits. So, it is not. No, not in the foreseeable future. Yeah, what happens is anybody who shows up at the countertop, I mean, we're not in the township that does it. There's stuff. And in fact, even the townships that provide one building department still don't provide one, but we can't. That's also done. The inspections are also done by the county assessors. He may have wanted to do that eventually, but that's not what the current plan is. So,
You guys probably don't have enough.
I do actually. Yeah, I've got copies of.
No, but you guys probably don't have enough to justify having a building.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Here, this is a copy of the staff report that I generated.
Oh, okay.
Did you guys get a copy of the?
I do have a copy.
I got them up here to get them off the desk. We're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. First of all, rise to the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Next item is attendance. Roll call here. Mr. Streeter? Here. Mr. Roman? Here. Mr. Mead? Here. Mr. Mason is here. Mr. Kinkbeiner is not here. Mr. Chrisway? Here. We have a forum. First item we're going to do is take a look at the agenda. Because we have, it's a special meeting, we don't have a full group here, we can't make any changes to the agenda. Take a motion from someone to approve the agenda.
Make motion to approve the agenda.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Next item is public comment. Is there anybody from the public who would like to address the commission on items that are not on the agenda? Seeing none at this point, we'll move on. We have two action items to take care of tonight. The first one is, as I am the chairperson of the committee, and I'm not able to continue in that job, I'm resigning from the planning commission to take over as zoning administrator for Green Township. And I will be at the meeting as staff support person, but I want to be able to chair the meeting.
Or the next committee.
I cannot be a commissioner, no. As a staff support person, I work for the commission. I do not, cannot function as a commissioner. I don't have a vote. And my job is to write staff report with factual information and information from the zoning ordinance so that you can know the information you need to make good decisions. I will help you tonight, especially since it's the first time we've met for this kind of a situation. I will help you make decisions, explain everything you need to have explained. And that's what the parents do. There's going to be a lot of flexibility in the way the meeting runs tonight. Planning commission meetings aren't necessarily like board of trustee meetings. The business that we do here is looking at site plans, reviewing whether it's appropriate, whether it meets all the requirements of a site plan, and then if we have a special use permit or it's called a planning unit development request, we'll have all experience on those items, listen to community input, and take that into account in the decision-making process as well.
Does that office answer this commission or answer to the board?
The answers to the board are very about the power of hiring, but I obviously am your staff support person, so if you have questions, you need information, that's what I'm here to do. If you want to go over my qualifications, I worked for the Township for over 6 years as their zoning administrator. Certification from Michigan State
I would make a nomination that Ross Mead be the chairperson if he's fit. He's got, the demeanor of the public, research his things thoroughly. And he knows Ron Mead is parliamentary procedure for a while, so that was my nomination.
I would agree with that.
I can share a little bit issue with you about one meeting in the Grass Township where their planning commission needed a new chairperson after the previous chairperson stepped down and the absent member was nominated.
Well, it's not quite that bad.
No, it's not
I
very
used to say, and none of us had this plan that they know.
No,
I just have a lot of respect for Ross, and I think he handled the job with your help.
Well, absolutely, and I mean, that is my job to make sure you have the facts that you're supposed to have to make good decisions. It's my job to do all the research. And like I said, this was our first meeting, and we didn't have the lead time that we will learn what we have, and that's our second action items is our calendar for the next year, or at least the rest of this year. So because I didn't have at least a month lead time on everything, obviously, it does it more challenging. I'm only doing this job very, very part-time. I put in about 4 or 5 hours a week is all because I got a full-time job. It requires more than time every day.
I guess I would accept the nomination with the stipulation that it begins at the end of this meeting, not prior to that.
I can run the meeting if that would be something that you folks want to, whether it's, after the rest of the meeting.
I'd be delighted to do it this year.
I can run the rest of the meeting, I don't have any problem doing that.
In that case, I would say.
Okay. At this point, I think we have a motion, and Steve seconded, so let's take a vote. Well, we probably ought to take a roll for that, so. Tom? Yes. Steve?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Ross?
Can I abstain? Right?
You may. Our next item is to set a meeting schedule for 2024. We're required by our bylaws, and I know the Ross will get me this information yet. I'm not sure if did any of you get back to the bylaws from the last meeting? You may or may not.
Before meeting, should we remember for you?
Yeah, so we're required to have 4 years by our bylaws. These 2 special meetings will not count, but we're also starting the year a third of the way through. So I don't necessarily think we need to schedule 4. There is a requirement that this board, this commission has an annual meeting every year. There is no requirement when that meeting takes place, but it's usually the first meeting of whatever calendar you're on. So the odds of us having a lot of business to do during the winter time is pretty low. I will share with you that already, in the course of the last 2.5 weeks, I've dealt with 10 someone. So we have had a busy month, much more than we thought. But for me, to be your support person, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays are the best nights. I work Friday through Monday, second shift.
On some of the first Tuesday of every month. or second Tuesday of every
Yeah, I
month.
was actually, if you're willing to listen to a suggestion, the second Tuesday is the Board of Commissioners or Board of Trustees meeting. And I think the Tuesday following their meeting would be a good choice. So it would be third Tuesday, every other month. At this point, yes, let's go ahead and do that. And I would suggest at this point that maybe we make the next meeting July meeting, or unless you prefer June.
Is there a stipulation that says, once something has been requested of us, a time limit
Have
is
so
up?
many days to, that is probably in our zoning ordinance. That's something we have the ability to set, so I have to make sure that we have a minimum of 60 days. We have the ability to change it. Yes, that the board of trustees can modify our zoning ordinance at will for as long as the interim ordinance is met. So there will be some changes I'll recommend to them. They're not going to be big ones, but
So, if you've already done 10 zoning clearances, meetings may not be necessary on a regular basis. Realistically, they probably will be.
any commercial, any commercial or industrial request will come to you. That is just how this planning commission is set up. There will be modified, all residential, agricultural, home occupation, camping, that stuff is stuff I take care of. I can give you, I don't have, like this, this is a list of the requests that we've gotten so far that I dealt with already. There's still a couple more out in the meetings. All right. So, do I hear a motion for the third Tuesday of every other month beginning in which month?
You got a preference for July?
At this point, I wouldn't think so.
But it's still that.
It's possible. If we have some, there's going to be a little bit of stuff based on the two items we have tonight. That will determine whether or not they may want to have a meeting sooner than that. So we'll have to see what things go. But how those items turn out.
I'll make a motion that we have a meeting on the third Tuesday of every other month, starting with July.
All right, the motion is second. Special meetings can be held the same as any other open meeting activity. At call of the chairman or at call of two of the planning commission members, special meeting can be held.
So I think it would be prudent to go through and just check the calendar, see if there's any important dates, holidays, or, general elections that come on the third Tuesday. So it'll be July and September and November.
But I think the general election will already.
Yes, yeah, that's not going to be an issue. It doesn't look like there's anything in July. The first date in July will be the 16th.
And then the other item you probably want to put on there is what time do you want to have a meeting? Yeah, not a problem.
Does that work for you, Mr. Neal?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think I can make it work.
You work during the school year, you need extra time. I'm all for a further meeting in the 6th, but it just depends on our chairman. Just leave it there for now. All right?
Yeah, and we can, again, as long as we know that meeting, we can take action to change All right. This is a special meeting because it's got a set schedule. It is the second. So, motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Same sign. I guess I can actually get rid of that. I do that, I've done it before. All right, item number 1 under new business is a review of the site plan for our zoning permit number 004 at 18669 North Drive. It's moving an existing 6,000 square foot storage building to this property. This property is in the C2 commercial district. And the applicant is for construction on behalf of the property owner, Steve Fenton. So we've got some representatives from Gerber here, and you guys can go. I know a lot of deputies, but we don't know. We're going to be all set.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to leave you guys, I'm sorry. But you know what? Thank you, gentlemen, I appreciate it very much.
They're here for us.
Yeah, they were here because I was concerned about you.
First open meeting I've ever been to.
I just read it on my head. So,
Mr. Fenstermacher's here as well.
okay. Very good. And in that case, do any of you have anything you'd like to say on behalf of this particular class?
It's pretty straightforward as far as just moving an existing building that's already on the parcel to the south, and then in turn, just, the intent is just indoor storage.
Yeah.
Storage is all it is.
Okay. And that is going to be used for that purpose as well? Okay. Now, I do have a question myself, and I know that probably already answered this. The home that is built on the property, right? How is that being utilized?
I intend on moving that next year.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that property will then become
Total.
all right. Yeah.
How's it being used currently, Mr. Fenstermacher? I had sold it to my son, and he has some roommates there. Okay. He has since lost the property, and they're going to engage with me. But we had to in the house yet, this property, so it's still living there. And then with the new building, with moving this building, the consolidation in the area, I just, I don't get it. Do that issue. What was your question?
How much paper's going to be there when they move the building to the new site?
How much what?
Paper for the new building?
I'm not planning to put it in. We,
Just
there will
moving
be
it.
another section of our material here, we moved in and got closed in. And we plan on this being stopped, so the building is just going to be winter time for the status of. I've already talked with their locals and the other locals, and we're going to actually move it across there, so we're looking at further out.
Are you, okay, I was wondering about that.
They give me permission, I have to cut the banks down because it's really slow.
So we have Johansson, professional mover, just going to move it, or you?
Yeah.
Just not with the reason.
No, we're picking it up, it's got beams sticking out of it.
Okay.
This new building you're going to put up, is that going to end in the same place this old building does? I see these are trailers on the other side.
Just as a point of order, we're going to just talk about the one building that's being moved for now, and we'll get to that at our next point. So, let me give you a couple of references here for items that are in our current ordinance regarding what I believe might be some things that are concerning. So, because the use that it's currently on has been there for years and years, it will need to be in consideration of whether it's a special use permit. As you see though, in the new property, that is not current use. And under item section 218C, general commercial district, item 2, special land uses, contractor storage yards and trucking and excavation operations are under the special use permit. They're not part of the use by right in the commercial district. Granted, that company has been here for a long, long time. Back when I was a young boy, I remember that's not probably the excavating business. I grew up in the gravel business myself, so well acquainted with the family and how they do business. Just throw that out there as a possibility to take into consideration whether or not that is because it's not contiguous with current property. It's separated by that parcel. Whether or not we need to require a special use permit. I mean, I don't know about it either. I think that the use is very similar to what's already in the area.
The commercial zoning is all the way to that road, right?
Commercial zoning actually runs, yeah, it actually runs all the way along Northern Drive up to
Does it stop at that row of trees, or is that house actually in a commercial?
no, that house is built on commercial property. All the property that comes from Northern Drive to 19 Mile Road and actually beyond up to the Speedway station. Well, actually, I guess it's up to Seward's Road on the east side of the road. Is all commercial.
How far back from Northern Drive is commercial?
I believe it's
18 miles.
no, it's about, I haven't been. I think it's at least 400 feet. Maybe. And I haven't, like I said, I'm working on this stuff without that having work. I have no GIS mapping available to me. None of the stuff I wish I had actually be able to do the job that I should do. So that's all in process.
Steve, from the paperwork I see here, those are two separate parcels, though?
I'm in
Yeah.
negotiations with Terry Michaels right now to buy the back part that there's approved that one.
Okay.
They have, they've approved me moving the building across the property. They haven't approved selling the back, which could be the wooden section. I would like to buy that, and then we would.
So right now, those aren't there.
No, they're not. Terry Michaels is the only property.
Okay.
All the properties to the east, south, and north are commercial zone, and to the west is the residential property. Is, subdivision.
I got a simple question about the building. The proposed, it seems to be screwed out on the map, it's not parallel to the road, is there a reason for that?
Same for the first application? Yeah, for the 6,000. So that was just a superimposed sketch to try to get something out to the team. But there is a note here, that we will have it in location in compliance with the setbacks, because understanding that this was the first meeting, this was newer in the process. But the full intent is that we will have everything, will be in compliance and parallel with the road.
Yeah,
So,
Do they have the same map that we have?
yes,
yes, sir.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and Kip, did tell me, that they're in contact with a English at, Michigan engineer, and she is developing a true site plan for this property. We do not have it yet, so it hasn't finished.
Instead of running east and west, buildings going on the top.
The doors will face, no,
Oh,
The doors will face north, just there.
So the buildings are east and west.
Yes, so, yes, the orientation would be east-west.
the lake.
Not a big deal, but it's different than what we're seeing here, right? Correct.
Actually, the orientation is pretty close to the direction that you're.
Okay, so the doors aren't on the gable end, they're on,
They're on the east side.
okay, they are on this side.
Yep.
Which is the same as what it is currently.
Right.
Right now, the doors all face east.
Yeah.
They're just gonna face north. She's gonna rotate 90 degrees.
Okay. So are we the first step in this process?
Yes. I did a review, my hope was that we would have the actual site plan to look at for this. But we don't, so we're going based on the information we have here. If you don't feel like this is enough information for you to make a good decision, by all means, you have the right to say, we want to see the site plan, or you can decide to go ahead and approve it tentatively with a review of the site plan by myself when it's available, and then the final approval can take place at that time, or at your next meeting, also at the meeting. Those are things, you have the ability to make those decisions, that is part of your responsibility in this situation.
Steve, in moving building and moving equipment between those two properties, is the intent, once you work out whatever with Michael's, to be able to access one property from one to the other without going up Northland Drive?
If I am able to buy this back portion of this property, yes. We would clear the trees and actually make that bring to a portion of that.
In the event you don't, just worst case scenario, I guess, how much do you see equipment moving between those two to cause concern on Northland Drive?
There would be no concern. The only time we would move equipment, I have a stationary piece of equipment there now. The topsoil training,
Gotcha.
the conveyor, when we move the building, the conveyor sits there now, that's going on to the other area, we'll move that to the area also. That'll go on to the, into the fall of the year, when we put equipment away in Russell, everything that would need a trailer would be put on a trailer and all up there. The building, we proposed building, is 24,000 square foot building on river. So the main equipment that's going to be, that we use is going to be in the big building on our existing. What I find, I've got a few older cars, I've had my dad's older tractors. Those are things that are going to be, I depend on putting in this building, when we relocate it, which we're not going to show it back and forth in and out of the building.
So very rarely stuff needs to be
Very good. I think, in fact, the only reason we're moving it is because the new building that we're doing is going in place of this building, and it's too nice a building to demolish, so it's just more economical. I don't know if it's economical for Steve, but it makes sense to just put it over there, because it's too nice a building to just tear down all the land. So he already has a building, he has the property, so the idea was just put it up there and use it as an overflow, kind of per se, for storage and investigation.
This is my 38th year in business, so when that all isn't quite as desirable as it was years ago. My younger son, who just turned 29, he's been working with me since he was 18. He's been operating me. He's pretty much, we've got the company down to the size where he's hopefully going to take it in. The older cars is always been a passion of mine, and we do some weekend working on that in the shop. That would be a few years ago. It's more going to be a shop, personal storage for gas tractors, gas trucks, micro trucks, oil cars, stuff that would stay in the shop that I would put down. Not really anything. The new building should be sufficient for all of the business.
Applicant signature, who is kidding? George and Brown.
That's me, that's for
So we need a motion to approve this form.
With that, I'd like to,
I still believe that maybe we should eventually see if that can.
I don't disagree with that. I would recommend that you do a tentative approval based on the site plan that has to be presented from the district engineering, so that I can verify the setbacks on the drawing, and also that the ability to go and actually measure them once we get from the state. And that's important, of course, to be able to do that, just to show that they do meet all the setbacks. It's hard to do that without having something actually drawn up before you go with that.
And my question would be, if that's the case, then do we have to wait till July 16th, or?
What I would need, that they can give me the authority to make the approval based on the site plan once it arrives.
Right.
But that is up to the planning commission. I can't take that on myself.
Okay.
When do we hope to have it?
Site plan.
based on information from Kay, it should be within a week to a week and a half.
And all I would ask you is to consider, obviously, we live in Michigan, you guys know where that, and the building season is 7-8 months if you're lucky.
And I do understand that. That's why we came ahead and brought this forward.
Yep.
You know, we didn't have the site.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and that's appreciated.
I'd like to make a motion to give this project tentative approval, based on receiving site plan as soon as possible.
Is that all of that, and make a decision to, we're going to go ahead?
Yes.
I will sign that.
Got a motion and a second?
So what, now we'll discuss it.
Yes.
What can they begin doing if we give them preliminary approval?
They do preparation work on the site. They have material that's going to have to be moved off of that site, the way I understand it, correct? The material that's there right now is going to be moved, and that building is going to pretty much go where the asset is.
No.
No. Okay.
I have to move 2 trees. I have to move the bank, because the elevation of that property is higher than Perry Michael.
Yeah.
The elevation of Perry Michael is higher than my existing there. The materials I have enough room in my existing yard. The big thing is getting it off the foundation, getting the old foundation out, and so that we can build.
For the next, and that's the next thing we're gonna be here. There won't be an issue with the tying off the foundation, I don't think. We have no issue with that. It's gonna be the final move and setting it on.
We would definitely have a engineered site plan. We have the foundation plan already. It's going to be the foundation plan, sorry, going to do and then do the site prep and get the honest approval.
So you'll store the building, right? We'll store parking lot out front there?
Yes. Probably right by the road. So until we have the site plan and the site all, the site plan and the site approval, and then foundation, and then we'll follow it up there. Because what we're going to do is we're going to disturb two banks and carry on the property. And then once we get the building up onto the foundation, it'll be jacked up, and we'll have to restore the two banks up here. The south bank, and then the south goes down in the foundation.
So we go ahead and start preliminary movement.
Doing the prep work on the site, there's not gonna be an issue. As long as I have a site plan, so I can go out and see the state location for that foundation, make sure it's good. That's the important part.
You'd rather move the building. Once I got put right in, you'd rather just wait for the building.
It's not that easy. I have to find it with very Michaels. I have to also, I would like to, and it's all the building does is sets on the bolts on the piers and concrete piers. And if you care, drive through there, the doors are wide open, you see the structure that Phil Nelson is putting in there to raise this building up. We should be able, if the concrete's all there, we should be able to just pull it, disturb, pull it right across, and we can get it onto the slab that it's going to pour and just let it right down on the bolts and cut it. So storing it for a week or two or even a month is a good thing. I need to get it out of the site because we've got a few months of work to do.
This part behind reasonable, right?
But prior to Gerber starting in 84, we'll have the final,
Yes.
and we'll have to check it.
Yes, because we have to have that to get building.
Yeah, they can't move that building, or they can't even start projects until we have approved. But approved, don't, I'm gonna give them information until we approve the
Okay, I'm just not clear on, you talk about you approving setbacks. I'm not clear on what the responsibility is between you as the zoning commissioner and the building inspector.
Okay.
So, well, we're not having a
has their own individual setbacks. You know what, maybe 20 feet in this township and 35 in the next township. Where, as a building inspector, it's pretty unified throughout the state or throughout the country on what we're requiring.
The city be on the 20 on each side and 50 on the rear.
Yeah, well, you get on the rear of that is, the residential zone, so that's pretty much that 50 on the rear. Yeah, let's just see that.
We're just about to start the new property start. Energy start.
In district here is actually the property line for this. Yeah, so it goes up around Michael's back here. Just a little bit. So this is our subdivision, this is commercial.
I don't understand. I just asked, and you told me that this was on the property.
No.
Yeah, no, this house here.
Oh,
Here.
that's what I was asking about.
Oh, yeah, no, this is on the subdivision, this is on what's called R2, which is our single family residential zone.
Okay, I think it was right down. Okay. Right. I'm satisfied.
Any other questions or comments?
Are we creating any unnecessary inconvenience for the applicant? I mean, it's reasonable to wait on the site plan.
Yeah, it absolutely is reasonable.
Okay,
on the site plan.
I don't want to, I'd like to see.
I don't know what to say, one of the, they don't have it, there's no issue with them doing, if they have a permit from the soil for soil erosion, they can do site work, or they can do site prep. So the only thing we're saying is, I'm not giving them permission to put the building there until I see that site plan and can go and verify the dimensions. And make sure that we are.
And that's what we find.
Yeah, so if they get their soil erosion permit, they can do the site work.
I just thought,
Foundation.
maybe it would be a more seamless transition if you didn't have to park that on your own property there for a little bit and move it later.
Yeah, and I mean, if they get that done, you know, we can, it probably won't be an issue.
Okay.
Think the week on this week, the trees cleared out here to the hospital.
Oh, it won't take long. Oh, we're not gonna clear any trees, we're gonna move it right through your existing.
Oh, okay.
If I buy the property, I would like to buy the property, but, we're still in the woods.
Okay. So you're gonna squeeze between the customer tanks and the bulk tank, there's enough room there?
We're between the service island and the big propane tanks in the back.
Mm-hmm.
All tanks, that's exactly where we're going.
Okay.
The squeeze is going to be getting in between my two.
So we don't see those on this board.
And you're not under this photo, they can't. Yeah,
I've
this
seen
photo,
them on the home.
this photo predates.
They are.
They just came in last fall.
Yep.
Any other discussion? All right, call the question. Tom?
Yeah.
Rob?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Ellen?
Yes.
All right. Site plan DTV 004, yes? Unanimously. We'll go to site plan DTV 005, 1857 North Winter Drive, that's the other half of the project. It is actually the building of a replacement building for the 6,000 square foot building that's going to be moved. And it'll be 24,000 square foot. House, is a section of the mobile home park which does complex the south border of this particular parcel. And because of the requirements that are in the ordinance for 50-foot setback against any residential property, we'll get on to the we're going to probably have to require that they have a 50-foot setback on that south line as well as on the west line. Requiring that still gives them plenty of area on their property for their building.
Steve, is there any intent to use any type of existing foundation of the whole building and move the
We already, I tried to even leave that building there, and design the building up to it. Because of the snow load and how the configuration of the existing building, here is where the window is, you got it. So the whole existing building, center to
So having to move by however many feet we need to accomplish that setback will not cause a problem. Currently, is there any sun or site barrier between your property and the trailer park?
There is the old railroad grade that pretty much from the back of my other mechanic shop to the west, it actually goes up through the ravine part of the pond and development. That is right by that building, I would say it's probably it's probably 8 foot high. No, it's not. No, it was the whole part. The way we have this designed, we're actually selling it a little forward, a little to the north is really moderate. We've got a 10-foot concrete wall in the back of that, and we'll be able to bring water around just like it does.
This says there's a site plan, 5124 from Mid-Michigan Engineering, I do not have that on the back. Yeah, that's the. As water flow from any of the existing, either paved or crushed areas ever cause a problem to the trailer park?
There's no possible way that water can be moved over there because of the old swimming railroad grade. And we're not, I love it. We're not in the city area.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
My younger brother, Martin, is pretty much taking over. I know that we're trying to go over so there's that. We got John Willis, that's being built for the house. She's 80 or 85. He's pretty sure.
So, does this site plan meet the 50-foot setback?
It does not on the west. We couldn't determine on the south side because it doesn't actually have, we know that it's greater than 20 feet. Possibly looks like it might be 40 or 45 showing there. south, maybe not to 50. So we're just going to have to verify that dimension. And like I said, to the west, there's definitely going to have to be an additional 30 feet of space there from the property line. That would make the site plan.
So that you know, the whole building towards north of the.
Yeah, toward Northland Drive and possibly a little bit, you know.
Doable from your plans?
Yeah.
The survey markers are visible with the naked eye, or would that have to be done up with it?
Kate's already surveyed, she's been out there.
If she's got a corner stake on that.
Yeah, I see where it says, from, that liner.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a flag there with ribbon? When you go out,
If there's a stake, I would.
okay, that's what I was asking, you would need to have some of the reference on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be visual references, but be children. Actually, what they write right out the state, what that state, just a piece of black, they write right down there what that black represents and the purpose of that black.
So what will the administrator be looking for from here?
In this one, I was required that you ask for approval of the site plan with the modified setbacks at 50 feet on the west and the south. Otherwise, the site plan is effective.
And Bert, I'm assuming you'd like that before July 16th?
Yes, sir.
All right, I would make a motion that permit GTZ 005 to be approved pending the changes made to the setback on the site plan and give the zoning administrator the authority to approve that once he sees those site plans. I'll second.
Any further discussion?
So there may not be a need for another meeting.
Not
As regard to this application is concerned, or we need you to go ahead and approve that.
This site plan actually is very thorough, other than the fact that, and that part of that falls on me, because at the time I accepted it and reviewed it initially, I hadn't read through every aspect of the ordinance and found out that the property line that, let's say residential district, does have to have a 50-foot setback. Instead of going to the zoning board of appeals and asking for a variance, since they have enough room to do this, my request is that they go ahead and just make those modifications, which they're,
You're okay with
this will be approved. Once I get the verification on the new site plan drawings, stamp with an approval, and we get the construction underway, a couple of more stations, inspection. Actually, relatively
We're
short.
going to have to make those changes tomorrow.
Yeah, she should be able to get that done.
Should be a very quick turnaround on that. Yes, sir.
Any other discussion? Go ahead and call the question. All in favor of approving site plan GTZ 005 with the setback changes?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Alex?
Yes.
Bruce?
pending we do the required.
I need to have that site plan.
Yep, okay, yep, just so we're clear on what's required.
So that I can verify where that building's gonna go, and if it meets all the setbacks. This one is, obviously, this is what I'm looking for, and even though we don't have the setbacks correct, I know that they don't.
Yeah, you'll get this,
I have nothing to go by on the other one.
you'll get the same bill.
Yeah, I know I will. That's why that was a little more challenging to go to work our way through.
I just want to make sure we're clear on that.
But once we get those site plans, the commission has given me the authority to go ahead and do the final approval, and that will happen.
Okay.
Within short order. Yeah, just so you guys are aware,
Yeah.
I work very part-time here, so I try to be in the office Tuesday and Thursday mornings, but my wife has lupus, she has a broken foot, we have lots of doctor's appointments, so I work on my days off, are Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, so I try to deal with all of her stuff during those days so that I can work my regular job, field plan, Friday through Sunday, for no.
Well, we do want to thank you for, reviewing and especially the first application and, taking this under consideration that, based on the preliminary drawings, so we do extend our gratitude to that.
Not a problem, and we're using it also for the training for our first-time commissioners. I don't believe any of them have had experience as planning commissioners before, so I wanted to take the time to make sure we went through this thoroughly, and I appreciate your willingness to allow us to do that.
Any relation to JJ?
JJ? I don't like, all the Jarzakowskis that I don't like,